Hey, it's Mark helping you understand English grammar, and we're going to go over a few of the sentences for practice at the end of Chapter 8. Now, just look at Chapter 8 as a place where you're given lots of different options for a something, whether it's a nominal expletive or nominal interrogative, a gerund phrase, an infinitive phrase. These things are now acting like your direct object or your subject, any place that you could put a noun. All right, now you're going to see lots of multiple clauses in your sentences. They're going to look a little more tricky as we get into here, but if you just take them one little step at a time, the fun will continue. Right, Kenny? Mm-hmm. Can you read this for me?
I wonder something.
I wonder something. That's it. You're wondering something. Now, if you can just say something, you're about 2/3 of the way to solving it. Now, what is the thing that you wonder?
I wonder what the High Line area was like back when it was a street-level freight train in old New York.
Okay, it looks ridiculous here, but if we go step by step, we already identified that subject and clause relationship here. Okay, that we have a subject and clause, subject and verb relationship here for a clausal relationship, and we have a third one here. But before we panic, let's just figure out what they're all doing. Now, what is the thing again that you wonder?
I wonder what the High Line area was like back
Okay, so there we go. The area, and what's our verb here?
was.
All right. It was like, and here's where our interrogative goes. It was like what? What was it like? It was like what? Okay, and it's the High Line area. Now, what about our last clause? What happens when you see this word? What is it telling you?
It was
Time and place. Time or place. This is definitely time, right? So is this whole clause, when it was a street-level freight train in Old New York, is that telling us when I was doing my wondering? Or is it telling us when the area was like this certain way?
one area
That's
was
right.
like this.
All right, so we'll diagram that. Here's our clause here, and it's our adverbial subordinate clause, adverbial to this was, right? It was a train, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our pattern 3. This is a pattern 1 here, and this, of course, noun phrase 1, noun phrase 2 makes it a pattern.
A pattern 7.
Yes. When it was a, what kind of train? A street level?
Freight train.
And it was a train in Old New York, right? That will go here. Sorry, that's a little scrunched together, but it's a street level freight train in Old New York. And this is connected to here by our subordinating conjunction when. So that's adverbial to what the area was like. All right, so if you just go little by little, start asking the questions, what kind, which one, time and place, or is it a something, then you'll figure out what each of these clauses are doing other than the main clause. Let's pan over to this one, please. All right, what do you think, dude?
I think something.
Something, all right? Here we go. I think there's some subject-verb action there. There's some subject-verb action there. I think that's the only one. And if we just go starting with this every time, maybe it'll be a 6, maybe it'll be a 7, but we can at least figure out what the main clause will be, right? All right, I think something. What is it that we think?
I think that the High Line is my favorite tourist attraction in New York City.
And what pattern is that?
That's a pattern.
It's a B, it must be a 1, 2, or 3, right? So that's pattern 3. Here's your expletive that, which goes up there. Doesn't have a function within the clause there. What kind of attraction is it?
It's
My favorite. And the attraction's in New York City too, right? I think that the High Line is my favorite tourist. So what is it that I think? I think this. So we have noun phrase 1. This is noun phrase 2, this whole mess here, right? So if we only have 2 noun phrases, what's our pattern?
It's a pattern 7.
You're yawning. You getting hungry, dude?
Yes.
Ken is hungry. That's a pattern 2. Okay, I think this. Little by little you can do it. Let's take a look at that other one over there. All right. Can you read that for me, buddy?
The guide said there were...
No. What'd the guide say?
The guy said something.
Something. All right, leave it at that. We'll just make this super long because we'll need a little space. All right, can you read the rest of it?
The guide said there was a great number of accidents on the train.
Oh my, is my beautiful bald head in the way?
The tracks back in the 19th century.
Okay, great. Now, here's my expletive that. It goes up here because it's just, all this thing is doing is indicating that if it's coming right after the verb, you're that, it's probably going to be indicating a nominal clause. If it's coming right after a noun, like the house that Jack built, it's probably indicating that it's a relative clause. But here, it's just saying, hey, everything that comes next is part of my something. All right, now, this is a little tricky because it's the there transformation. I don't know if you remember that. So number is my subject. And were, it'll look ungrammatical here, but that's all right for now. And the there is not, this is from your there transformation. This there is not giving us adverbial information. It's not telling us where the numbers were. It's just saying that they existed. Remember, that's how the there transformation from chapter 5 works. So the number, I'll just put a parentheses S there. Okay, the numbers were, great number, the number, what kind of number? The number of accidents. Okay, and they were, here's our adverbial. Where were they?
They were a great number.
No, where were they?
They were
On the tracks.
on the train.
On the train tracks, right? So the train. On the train tracks. And when were they?
They were in the 19th century.
Okay, and time and place is always going to be adverbial, and it's to this were, right? So we have a qualifier here back in the 19th century. And let's see what we have here. What'd the guide say?
The guide said
This stuff, okay? This is the thing he said or she said, and that's your direct object. What is, in fact, the information that was said? Okay. There were, a great number, I forgot, right? A great number of accidents were on the tracks in the 19th century. Okay, nominal expletive clause. And we have one last one over here to look at. As always, pause, rewind, go back, take a look at these again, and we'll take a look at this. All right, you with me, dude? This one is a little tricky because it contains an appositive. An appositive, remember, my friend Steve likes to play guitar. That's when the noun is repeating itself. My friend and Steve. This is a little bit different. So it was agreed upon. Already we have a be plus en with a phrasal verb. And we have something here. So we know it's passive, and we know it must be a pattern 7, but there's a be plus en, so it'll look like the 6 here. It, and what is the thing that's being repeated with it, buddy? Can you see that?
it.
What is the it? What is the something?
It was.
What's the something?
It's the West Side Improvement Project.
The whole thing is the something. Here we go. That, see again, that is indicating that all this stuff is my something. So that the West Side Improvement Project would be undertaken to eliminate the dangerous railroad crossings and to build a new High Line is the something. All right, so let's see. I'll just abbreviate here. West Side Improvement Project is the subject. We have a passive again. Would be undertaken. And here we have an adverbial infinitive phrase back from chapter 6, and it's modifying undertaken. Why is it going to be undertaken, dude?
Because it's
To eliminate the crossings and
to build a new line.
to build a new line. Some abbreviating going on here because I ran out of little space here. So it was agreed upon. Let me repeat what the it was. The it was this big giant something, which was, there's my expletive, that goes here. So that the West Side Improvement Project would be undertaken. Why? To eliminate crossings and to build a new High Line. This is the thing that was agreed upon. All right? So it's a little bit tricky, but once you're identifying where the different verb, subject and verb clause relationships are happening, and you're stepping back and going piece by piece, it becomes a little bit easier to do this. Take a look at it again if you're confused about any of these, and give me a call. We'll see you all in chapter 9. Thank you.